5 things I wish I knew before I became a UX designer. Hi guys, I'm Tiffany and welcome to my channel. It's been a while since I've talked about UX. If you're new to this channel, I basically talk about my job as a product designer, but also just work-life balance. I'm all about that. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not yet, but let's get into it. So I've been working at my job for quite some time now. It's been a couple years, I believe, and I feel like I have kind of the knowledge now to kind of let you know what I wished I knew before I started my job. First thing I wish I knew was no one cares what bootcamp or school you graduated from to get into UX. I cannot tell you how many times I spent looking online and researching for different bootcamps online, General Assembly, Google UX Certificate, Career Assembly, all these different bootcamps on what would be the best to get me a job. I don't think there's any bootcamp in particular that's going to for sure guarantee you to get a job. What's gonna matter at the end of the day is your portfolio and how well you're able to show your value for a company. So I wouldn't stress too much about what type of bootcamp to take. At the end of the day, what really matters are your skill sets. And as long as you're able to be disciplined and you are able to understand and learn the fundamentals, then that's what's gonna be really, really helpful to getting you a job. Number 2 is that you are not always making the fanciest apps. Sometimes when you look at product designers, you just see all these cool mobile applications and you just think they're just making pretty applications and newest things all the time. And while that could be true sometimes, a lot of the times on your job, you're also just making updates and changes to small features. Sometimes if you're in a big company, you could be working on a really small aspect of a huge product, which is still pretty cool, but just know you might not be designing the entire product. Number 3 is that soft skills are so important. Like, I know that learning technical skills like Figma or Adobe XD or Sketch, all that is important, but a huge thing that people don't factor in is your soft skills. Now, what is that exactly? That's like your communication skills, how well you're able to collaborate with different people. A huge part about being a designer is being able to communicate your workflow and communicate your design decisions to stakeholders and team members. And if you're not able to communicate clearly, this will be really, really difficult for you. You can be like the best designer ever. Honestly, you could be graduating from the best school, have the most insane designs, but if you're not able to communicate or you're really, really hard to work with, good luck trying to keep your job for a long time, especially if people do not like working with you. So make sure you keep that in mind. Number 4 is be open-minded. Part of being a designer is also being able to take constructive criticism. I know everyone thinks they're the best designers and you might think that, oh, this is beautiful, but do not get attached to your designs because 90% of the time you'll be asked to change it. There will be feedback that comes in and people might not like something that you did or they're going to ask you to change and update it for the users. And so it's really important to not be too attached to something and be open-minded and be receptive to feedback. You know, at the end of the day, you're designing things for your users, not for yourself. And so you have to kind of keep that in mind and be willing to change things. I typically on a project, I'm iterating over and over and over and over and over again. So the design that I first send out is never usually the one that gets shipped and delivered to people. And you have to be okay with that. That's the beauty of being in a team. You are able to talk to people, get their feedback, and make your designs even better than you might have thought. Last and final thing is that you have to be flexible. Typically in boot camps or in schools, they usually teach you how important it is to have user research and user testing. And that's great and all, but in reality, a lot of the times I've noticed companies kind of glance over the user research section and they don't always have the resources or the bandwidth to do all their user research or usability testing as possible. Sometimes it takes a long time for a process or having user research come in because it takes a lot of like buy-in from upper management and just thinking of like a big process to try to implement this. So just be patient with that. Not a lot of companies always have that. Of course, it's good to have a company that you enter and they already have all that stuff. But if you're starting off and you're at a startup and you notice that they don't have all of these different processes in the UX process in place, just know that that's actually pretty normal. and that you can definitely try to push as much as you can to try to get it, but that's just the reality of it sometimes. Anyways, those were my big 5 main tips that I had for today. I hope that this was helpful for you. I thought I'd share you some insights from the experiences that I've had and some things I wish that I would have known myself. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I will see you guys next time. Mwah.